Hi, good day to you. Thank you everyone for tuning in Orange Tea live streaming. Today I would like to share in a Positive Monday session about consultative sales and purchase through financial calculator using our Orange Tea agent app. Let's go. A little bit about myself. My name is Ivy EYU. I've been practicing real estate since 1996. So through the years, been doing real estate residential, more of sales, purchase, and rental. So today I'm sharing with you how can we actually equip ourselves leveraging on technologies by doing all the details and providing us with all these great tools, especially for Orange Tea, they has provided us with the very efficient agent app. And with my actual case studies, which I'm going to share today, I will show you how can we use the financial calculator to help our customer make informed decision. Today's our objective will be hands-on practice for using agent app financial calculator and case studies for serving HDB seller and HDB buyer taking HDB loan or bank loan. Okay, let's start with case study number 1. Mr. and Mrs. Chua will be collecting key to their new BTO soon, and they intend to sell their 5-room HDB flat in Redhill Close for 880,000. They have an outstanding mortgage loan of 250K, and they need to return to their CPF money with accrual interest of 195,000 and 105,000 respectively. And because they are collecting the BTO keys, so there is a resale levy payable at 45,000 informed by HDB sales department. So common questions being asked. What is the total CPF refund for Mr. and Mrs. Chua? And what is their estimated sales proceed after selling their HDB flats in Redhill? So now I will show you on live demonstration using the agent app. I'm now trying to do this thing called the screen mirroring, where I can show you from my phone using the agent app. How can we do this? So tap on the icon called Orange Tea Agent app. Screen through from your dashboard, you'll be able to see this icon called Financial Calculator. Tap on the Financial Calculator and you'll be able to see this dashboard showing the buyer and the seller. Because this first case study, we are talking about seller, so we'll tap on the seller portion. Tap on the sales proceed calculator. We can actually customize our app inputting the client's name. So I will put here Chua family. So the next information we key in is a property type is the HDB flat. The selling price is 880,000. Their HDB outstanding loan is 250,000. Their CPF, earlier on I have mentioned 195,000 and 105,000. So in total is 300K. Because they are actually the first owner of the flat and stayed more than 15 years, so there is no seller stamp duty. And now inform them my seller commission is 2%. So as you can see here, the calculator actually helps you to do the instant calculation of your agent fee together with the GST. So because this is a HDB outstanding loan, there is no prepayment penalties. Their legal fees will be using HDB legal, estimated about $400. Next, we input the resale levy that was informed by HDB sales department. And here you are, we have a figure of 265,768, and that is the estimated cash proceed based on selling price 880,000. What is important over here is to inform my client that what is the timeline like. So estimated, for example, you get to sell the flat on 1st of May, we can input in the date. The number of days of submission will be 14 days after the buyer exercise option. And immediately you can see the system auto-calculate the dates for you. From 1st of May OTP date, you have the expiry date 21 days later. And then within 14 days, we submit to HDB. And subsequently, we have the HDB acknowledgement of the resale submission, endorsement of HDB resale documents, and the estimated HDB resale is on 14th of August. So with this timeline, you can more or less give assurance and planning for Mr. and Mrs. Tan to move out of the HDB resale flat. So what is more useful is you can actually tap on the generate report button, and immediately, instantly, you can see that the things you have actually input in shows clearly with the timeline and their possible sales proceed and details. And from here, you can send this report to your client. Isn't it amazing and useful? So let me go back to my training slides to show you. If we were to do a manual calculation, this will be actually how we calculate for most of our clients. But because we are using the agent app, it makes it easier because it generates into a report for you. So based on the manual calculation, you can see we also get, of course, the same figure 265,768. Next, let's move on to case study number 2, where we are serving a HDB buyer. Davy and Susan both are Singaporean, and they intend to buy a 4-room HDB flat at Ang Mo Kio for 430,000. They are not buying near parents because both of them like the location at Ang Mo Kio, where their parents are actually staying in other estate. The CPF monies they have in their OA are 42,000 and 38,000 respectively. So assuming they are eligible for a HDB loan of 320K. Now this HDB loan, they will have to actually apply on their own using SingPass and with their income details. And they are also eligible for first-timer family grant of 50,000. So in most of the time when you are serving first-timer, what are the questions being asked? They will usually ask you, what are the fees involved in the purchase? And is there any cash payment that they need to prepare? So now we move on to our agent app. And I will show you how we do it. We go back to the agent app calculator. This time round, because we are serving buyer, so we tap on the buyer. And from the buyer, there is this thing called the financial advisor, where you can see we can calculate for private residential, HDB loan, and bank loan. Tap on it, put in their name, David and Susan. Okay, they are married couple. So as you can see over here, the tab, the application status, I'll put them as joint married. Then the calculator will appear buyer 1 and buyer 2. So because they are both Singapore citizen, it is here. So in case if they are actually other status, you can change it accordingly. So property type, I will tap in HDB loan. Their purchase price, as mentioned, is 430,000. So I assume that the valuation match at 430,000. If you know their income, you can actually key in. But however, this system actually allows you to do a pre-generate of the figures. So HLE approved amount is 320,000. Right. Okay. So HDB loan interest is 2.6, which is here. Because the moment we key in the HDB loan, the interest rate is already here. But if it's a bank loan case, which I'll be sharing in my next case study, I will tell you how we can do it. So HDB loan tenure is maximum at 25 years. So estimated their money mortgage is 1,452. But then again, this is subjected to the actual figures given by HDB during their resale application and the process. So next we move on to their details like CPF OA. So earlier on, I mentioned they have 42,000 and 38,000 respectively. So their CPF OA is around 80,000. Their eligible family grant is 50,000. So because they are not buying near parents, so there's no proximity grant. And because they did tell me their income is a little bit higher, so they are not eligible for this additional housing grant. But then again, if they are applying HLE, they should have a pre-qualified and in principle approval from HDB about the grant that they are getting. So you can actually see it from their HLE letter. So if they do have the kind of grant that they are eligible, you can input in. So total CPF here is 130,000, as you can see. Valuation fee is 120 because they are using CPF and getting grant. Then I have a 1% agent fee of 4,003. So automatically, the same thing as the other calculator, you can see that the GST will be calculated here. So I won't input the caveat fee because I'll put it in the legal fee side because they are using HDB legal conveyancing. So the HDB administration fee is $80. So because they are actually taking the HLE loan, so normally we will help the buyers to reduce their cash commitment. So I will recommend their option fee at 500 and the exercise option fee at another 500. Okay, I move on back. The caveat and legal fee by HDB, I would estimate to about $350. So all in all, you will get this amount called 6151, which is the initial cash outlay they have to prepare. So as you can see here, there is also stated this 110, which is the minimum CPF for down payment. Now, buyer stamp duty. Tap on the rate calculator. Because we have input in their application status, how many buyers and first time buying, you can see that the BSD or ABSD summary for them. So for this buyer, because they are first timer and first property, their stamp duty is only the normal 3% minus 5,004. So we get this amount called 7,005. Tap on the green tab 7,005, then you tap on done. And you can see this figure will appear at the buyer stamp duty column. So over here, you can see that there is a 117,500. So this will be required as in using CPF. So for them earlier on, I have calculated they got 130,000, remember? At the part. So it's more than sufficient to cover that. So next thing, we will input, say for example, they buy this HDB flat on the 10th of May. And then because they are taking HLE, so I do ask them to kind of exercise earlier so that we can run the appointment earlier. So we will just put a 14-day submission. And over here, you can see the timeline. So for this buyer himself, their estimated resale completion will be on the 23rd of August. So you can prepare them. Then you can also generate the report. So for the buyer side, because there are more details, so the report will be more things inside, and you can see all this are actually mentioned clearly, and you can send this personalized report to them. Okay, so let's move on to my slides where I show you if we were to do a manual calculation, how it would be done. So input all the figures in. Because it's manual calculation, you got to also manually calculate the stamp fee. And this portion 6151 will be the cash required to purchase this 4-room flat. And bear in mind, because of HLE, there is this option for them to retain 20,000 CPF. But for this case study, because their CPF is just sufficient at 130,000, I will not recommend them to actually save that and retain that 20,000 CPF. So I will ask them to maximize all their 130K to make full use of the commitment towards this purchase. Okay, let's move on to case study number 3. Stephen and Cindy both are SPR and they intend to buy a 4-room HDB flat in Simei for 480,000. The money they have in their CPF original account are 75,000 and 60,000 respectively. So assuming they are eligible for 75% loan, bank loan, so the common question being asked, what is their total buyer stamp duty? And what is the total amount of cash that they need to pay out? So because they are SPR, definitely there will be some parts is different from the Singaporean purchase. So we'll move on to our agent app. Okay, here we are at the agent app. We are able to see that just now we have already done the buyer portion. So we are still at the buyer screen. Then we will tap financial advisor. So now you will input Stephen and Cindy's name. Because they are buying as a couple, so you will need to put joint married. So this is the important part. Because they are PR, you will need to change it to the PR. And because they are buying HDB using bank loan, you will need to tap in like this. So the purchase price for this house is 480,000. So assuming valuation match, so over here, because it's their first purchase, so it's a 0 outstanding loan. So because this is a bank loan, we are able to input the estimated latest bank rates. So I will use 1.3 instead. And because it's bank loan, they can loan up to 30 years, depends on their age and income. And LTV will be at 75%. So you can see that in this calculator, the LTV is 75%. They straight away calculate out is 360,000. And their estimated money mortgage will be 1,002. So we'll move on to input the other figures. Just now earlier I mentioned their CPF is 75,000 and 60,000. So in total is 135. They are not eligible for family grant because they are PR. And of course, they are also not eligible for the other grants. So here you see at the black color tab, there is a 135 for their total CPF. Because they are taking a bank loan, that's why you have this 5% cash already calculated here. Valuation fee is $120. Agent fee 1%, 4,008. So immediately the this GST is already input there. Caveat fee I will skip for now because I'm going to add it in the estimated legal fee. So HDB admin fee $80. So please note down here because inside this 5% down payment 24,000 is inclusive of the deposit 1,000 and 4,000. So I will not input it here because it will be like double count. So all in all, the initial outlay cash that they need to prepare is 29,336. So the next part, very important, is the stamp duty. We will tap on the pink color calculator box. And because we input in all the pricing, their application status, like joint married and nationality, and it's their first property. So immediately you can see from the screen here that the buyer stamp duty and the additional buyer stamp duty is already calculated. So we'll tap on the green portion here, 33,000, and click the done. And this 33,000 will be input in over here as the buyer stamp duty. And in this calculator, they also auto-generate the 20% down payment. So this is payable in CPF or cash. So next step, you get to see here, initial outlay, this portion, 129,000. Oh, I still need to add the legal fees, yes. So estimated legal fees is about 2,004. Here you are, you get a figure. Initial outlay can use CPF to pay is 131,400. So we move on to their progressive timeline. So take for example, on the 10th of May, we issue option to purchase, we accept an option issued by the seller, purchase on 10th of May. So because it's actually bank loan status, so we will just ignore this part. So you can see from the timeline here, with regards to the estimated completion will be sometime in early August. So again, you can generate a report with all the details that you have input in. Okay, just a quick glimpse. And you can send it over to this buyer who is getting a bank loan for buying a HDB. So we'll go back to our training slides to show you, should you be doing this as a manual? This is the chart that you can refer to. Of all the figures that I have mentioned, right, take note on the 24,000 5% down payment that is inclusive of the exercise option fee and the details over here. So you can see the 29,336 will be the initial cash outlay that they need to pay. And subsequently, you need to also inform them there is a 33,000 ABSD plus the normal stamp fee because they are SPR buying a resale flat. So back to this portion here, the initial CPF, they have 135, and what is required is 131,400, which is more than sufficient to cover. Thank you for watching today's sharing. And I do hope that with the case study, with reference to our live demo, you are able to use OrangeD Agent App Financial Calculator. Do stay tuned for my next sharing. I'll be using the same Agent App Calculator to do private seller and buyer calculation, and also sell one buy two. Thank you and have a great day.